What is visualization? Now that we understand the benefits of using meditation and focus, we can then hone in on what we want in our lives. Using visualization, we can change our perception. So to understand the power of visualization, I'm going to reference one of my favorite experiments. A study conducted by Dr. Pascal Lyon and his colleagues at Harvard Medical School in 1994. In the study, they divided volunteers into 3 groups. The first group practiced a simple 5-finger piano exercise for 2 hours a day for 5 days. The second group merely watched the first group and imagined practicing the same 5-finger piano piece exercise for 2 hours a day, also for 5 days. The third group, called the control group, did not engage in any piano-related mental or physical exercises. Using various measuring equipment to map the brain like TMS, fMRI, and EEG, the volunteers' brains were mapped before and after the exercises. So the group that practiced the piano for 2 hours a day for 5 days showed significant changes in the size of the brain areas responsible for the finger movements. The second group that merely imagined practicing the piano also showed the exact same areas of the brain lighting up, and although slightly less dramatic, had the same growth changes in the brain, suggesting that the actual mental practice can cause neuroplastic changes. The control group did not show any significant results at all. These findings were basically groundbreaking at the time because they demonstrated that the adult brain could change in response to training and experience. This supports the idea that focused mental rehearsal can bring about changes in the brain by just thought alone, which means that the brain doesn't know the difference between a perceived event versus an actual event. One of the industries that uses this type of programming is Formula One. Drivers practice their races mentally way before they even get onto the track physically. They visualize and program their brain to drive the entire track using their subconscious before even setting foot onto it. This then frees up their conscious thinking brain to navigate challenges that come up during the race, basically. So using meditation and focus, we incorporate the same methods to create a vision of what we want in the future, but in the present moment, so that the brain changes as if the experience has already happened. As I said, the brain doesn't know the difference between the actual experience and the thought of the experience. The same way that you can close your eyes, think about something in your past that makes you happy or sad, and have an emotional experience on the spot. The body has no concept of time. It follows instructions from the brain. So, to create a vision of yourself in the future that you will think over and over again in the present so that your body lives the experience now, we are going to use a phrase that has been around for years. Be the writer and actor in your own play. So if I decided that I no longer wanted to be called Bryn, but Bob, for example, and I walked around introducing myself as Bob, the star of a famous sitcom, my immediate friends and family would think I'm mad. But anybody else I was meeting for the first time wouldn't know the difference. And after a while, my friends and family would also adopt the new me, especially if I was persistent enough to continue acting as Bob the actor. Eventually, with enough time, experience, and knowledge and repetition, I would become Bob. That is exactly what actors do. They live, breathe, and become their characters. So much so that sometimes they can get trapped in their new persona and forget how they used to be as a person before. So here's another way to think about it. Each time you take on a new role at work, become a parent, or start a new hobby, you have changed into a new version of yourself. Understanding the power that you have to change your life allows you to create a script of who you want to become. You are the scriptwriter, the director, the actor, and the stagehand. You embody this role until your conscious mind creates thoughts over and over again, becoming your unconscious automated habits. It's that easy. Using your brain as a tool by understanding how it creates the programs that make you think, feel, and act the way you do is the purpose of the second R in my rewrite method. okay, which you will learn about in the upcoming lessons. To reiterate, rewriting our lives and changing the neural pathways in our brain requires us to give the brain information that we repeat over and over again. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So, have you ever asked yourself the importance of language? The things that you say and tell yourself? Well, I'll catch you in the next lesson.